Welcome to Brilliantly British. My name is Lawrence and today I'm going to show you how to make black country beef. So as I show you how, please sit back, relax with a cup of tea in hand, putting those feet of yours up to, and enjoy this episode. And don't forget to subscribe. The English districts of Dudley, Sandwell, Walsall and Wolverhampton, collectively referred to as the English Black Country, was so named due to the dark particulate emissions from the many coal-burning foundries and factories in the area. And so, in light of that snippet of history, we'll be sharing a dish reminiscent of the Black Country region. This, my friends, is black country beef, a dark, sweet and sour beef stew that has been developed to represent the distinct characteristics of the English Midlands. And step by step, you'll be shown how to prepare it with a customary session of tasting at the end. So now, with the introductions made and your interest peaking, please allow me to introduce the ingredients to you. For today's Brilliantly British black country beef, you will need some Muscavado sugar, some mace, some tomato paste, some shallots, some carrots, some mushrooms, some malt vinegar, or you can use Worcestershire sauce. You will need some mustard powder, some pickled gherkins, some pearl onions, some bay leaves, some black peppercorns, some beef dripping, some beef. Of course, you will also need some cloves of garlic, some fennel and some chives, along with a much needed drizzle of beer. And to round everything off, to avoid the occurrence of bland food, you will of course need a little pinch or two of salt. And that, my friends, is all, yes, all that you will need for today's Brilliantly British black country beef. But before you get started, before you do anything at all, please switch on your kettle, brew yourselves a nice cup of hot tea so that you can sip on that whilst you stew. To begin preparing your black country beef, into a food processor or blender, mince fennel at first, followed by the addition and incorporation of mushrooms to form a dark and aromatic paste. Then, in a pan over a medium-high heat with molten beef dripping, begin to fry your mushroom fennel paste with the intention of first drying, then caramelizing the contents to form a fond at the pan's base, at which point deglaze the pan with water and cook for a further minute or two. With that done, extract the now flavoursome stock with a sieve, and therein, whilst still hot, dissolve Muscavado sugar before setting the stock aside momentarily. Moving on, in a food processor or blender, mince shallots with just enough stock to form a smooth paste without discarding the residual stock, thereafter incorporating tomato paste. Then, after having momentarily set the marinade aside, in a spice grinder or pestle and mortar, grind fresh peppercorns before recalling your marinade, to which mustard, your ground pepper, ground mace and malt vinegar should be added and incorporated to finish and perfect the marinade. Proceed by coating your diced beef with the aromatic and pungent marinade, supplemented with salt, and then resting in your fridge for at least an hour, or better still, overnight, using the time whilst you wait to relax and rehydrate with Brilliantly British content in hand, making sure of course to like and subscribe. Thank you. Following the marination, in a pot over a medium-high heat lined with hot beef dripping, proceed by searing your beef and filling your kitchen with the ever-welcomed scent of sizzling beef for a minute or two on both sides, with the beef after searing resembling this juicy morsel on screen now. Moving on, with the meat seared, leaving behind a flavoursome fond, proceed by frying mushrooms whilst deglazing with the residual fennel mushroom stock. Cook the contents until the mushrooms become coated with a sticky aromatic syrup as a result of the reduced stock, at which point add sliced shallots with bay leaves and any leftover beef marinade from the marinating bowl, cooking the contents for a further minute or so before turning in beer, carrots, the rest of the mushroom fennel stock, your beef, and a pinch of salt, before heating up to a gentle simmer and allowing to stew over a medium heat, while you take another welcomed break with tea and some brilliantly British content once more in hand, remembering to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you. The results after stewing will resemble this dark, rich, thick and glossy beef stew, which should be finished with diced gherkins and pickled pearl onions, and any preferred additions of pepper and salt to taste. As you can see, I recommend serving the stew in a bowl with pearl barley, potatoes or rice garnished with fresh chives. And it is now at this point, with that being said, with a fresh black country beef stew made and your interest peaking, I think it's high time for tasting, tasting, tasting. Are you ready? Are you steady? 3, 2, 1. Deep flavor. This is such a meaty, comforting, rich dish. Where do I begin? The sweetness, the maltiness that comes from the background flavor of the Muscavado sugar, the beer, the malt vinegar, the spice coming through, the mace, the mustard adds lovely punchy notes to this dish. The beef is melt in the mouth, tender. You've got lovely, sour, crunchy pearl onions and gherkins. The mushrooms are there as well to add lovely earthy notes. Everything here just works. And when paired with barley, potatoes or rice, this is a very, very fulfilling dish indeed. It just requires slow, steady cooking, but apart from that, it is the simplest of dishes to prepare, as you saw. So look, with all of that being said, go out, get the ingredients to make this black country beef stew, because of course it will be 110% worth it. Please, please make this dish, please. Thank you all for allowing me to show you how to make black country beef. Knowing that you loved this episode, don't forget to click on the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification button so that you don't miss any of our new releases. Tell everyone, and I mean everyone, that you know about the brilliantly British food on this channel, and follow us on all of the social media platforms that this channel is on, and I will see you next time.